And welcome back, everybody, to week number 7, stage number 3, stage number 2,
Stage number
3, stage number 3, stage number 3, number 3. Well, are we counting bye? Because bye didn't come out today.
There was no bye.
There's no bye. And so we had round, I want to give him a round. Can we just give him a round? It has to be round 4, and then round 1 was just bye by itself?
Okay, just only buys.
Like a bye round just for bye.
But then you can't have that as round 1 because that means that only buys could advance because there was no other team.
Oh, unfortunate.
You gotta think these things.
So all buys were eliminated in the bye round?
That's
is a buy royale, and they all got
a buy royale. Oh, you take it too far now. Too far.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be sitting here in the round of 8. Coming up next, going to be i5 versus Agilitas, and this is one of the most interesting matchups we've had today, actually. What's so interesting about this is that these two teams are seeded 4th and 5th. Not only that, but they are 7 points away. For those of you who don't know the setup for the Smite World Championship regional qualifiers, we have 10 weeks of competition, and the top 4 teams that finish with the top seeding points at the end are going to the regional LAN that is being played for a lot of cash money. And so 4th and 5th seed going up against each other when they're this close means that whatever team loses this will be moving up. So if Agilitas wins against i5, they'll take the 4th seed guaranteed this week, and that is going to be a huge victory for Agilitas. If i5 knocks it out, they'll be moving on and continuing on with their 4th seed slot, and feeling a little bit more comfortable at the difference. But 7 seeding points between the two teams, that's not comfortable.
I mean, these two teams as well, when you look at it, i5, during the very first few weeks, they really showed themselves strong. They came 3rd, got to the finals in one of the weeks as well. They're looking pretty good at i5. However, the last couple of weeks, they've started to drift off quite considerably. And so with that, instead, you've got Agilitas who are on the rise. They have come out strong. Last week, they actually won. That shows how strong they are, right? They won last week. So
that's right.
Agilitas are the ones with the morale boost. They're the ones with everything to prove, to show that it wasn't just a one-off fluke. And i5 have got to start trying to get their stride back and show that, those first few weeks wasn't just, that's all they're going to do this season. They have to continue to try and push on. So both these teams have a lot on the line this week.
Yeah, I mean, last week it seemed like it was a pretty even matchup, right? I mean, you had C9 versus Agilitas. It was a 2-1 split, and Agilitas just played very, very well, kind of exploiting holes in C9's play, and we'll see if they can do it again. I mean, they really have to show themselves as a top contender if they want to hold on to that slot. So they will have first pick, first ban here as we hop into the pick ban phase. You got left side of your screen will have Agilitas, right side you will have i5, and we'll see what goes on here. So after it is going to be the first ban. You just don't want this to go really to Advert. I mean, he's so good at that character. And Lloydie there as well. So, there's the Scylla ban. Nothing too surprising. Back over. Looks like they don't want Rafford to get Mercury. And realistically, Mercury is a strong enough character to ban, but this just, Rafford's so good at Mercury and Advert's so good at Aphrodite, there's just no choice there.
This is what EU's about now, especially when we get to the quarterfinal stages. I bet all these teams know each other really well and they know what they're strong on. So what they're going to do is ban away counter picks. That's all it's going to be. I mean, obviously Scylla's probably the only one there that's going to be what counter picked away from everyone, but Thor's going to get through. Zinder's going to be very happy with that.
Zinder is so good at that character. He carried his team in a lot of bad situations with that character. We saw Thor go 12-0-5 last game. There's no surprise that the Thor here, the God of Thunder, is coming out and playing first pick role for Agilitas. He's just so good, and Zinder knows him very well. I mean, Zinder doesn't have one of the bigger god pulls for junglers, but the gods he does know, he's so very good at. We see him play Fenrir as well. Across the way, they're getting Hercules. No surprise there, but Al Guang is a little bit surprised here. Being picked up for Lloydie, I should say, in the mid lane, I would imagine. Al Guang is a character that's coming out more and more in the last few weeks. Great slow on his Squall and really a lot of great damage. And if played well, can just keep hitting that HP pool.
Yeah, I mean, overall, Al Guang is a great, safe farmer. However, to confirm his damage, you've got to do a lot of good things. You've got to make sure you land the tornadoes in the right spot. The squalls have to connect to really put out the full damage potential. And as we saw from Jerby yesterday, missing those Tempest Serpents is very, very easy to do. So you've got to make sure you connect them to really give the amount of damage that Al Guang can bring to the fight.
And looks like it's me, Raw and Artemis locked in the left side for Agilitas. iRaffer is trolling my face. What is he going to pick? What is it going to be? What's going to be picked here? Anything but the bug! It's gonna be a Neith, and Neith's gonna be locked in. So Hercules, Ao Guang, Neith locked in here. Artemis already locked in as well. I'm surprised that they prioritized Neith here. I guess they don't want Neith to go out in the banning phase that's coming up right now. Now, honestly, if you're Agilitas, you got a jungle, you got a hunter, you got a mid/solo. Across the way, they've got Hercules, which is ambiguous, Ao Guang mid, and Neith hunter. So they may be banning out a support.
But ban phase is definitely upon them now, and we know Agilitas last week played very, very well with Kanye life on that Ymir. So
that target
doesn't surprise me to see if they go for a Ymir ban, and it looks like they probably will do here. Make sure
right.
that's taken out of it.
Kanye just played pure Emir and just, left and right, made sure to kind of just conquer this. There's the Emir ban up on your screen. Nothing really too surprising about that. It doesn't seem like Kanye's depth for support is very deep either. I mean, he just has Emir and really kind of follows it up with, one or two other supports. So we'll see how that works out for them. Osiris is going to be banned out here. Don't want this to go to I5. We know I5 does actually favor that Osiris. But Hades on here. Now, here's the thing. Hades is probably one of the better solo laners, if not one of the best solo laners in the game right now. There's not very many people that have a good lineup lane fizz against Hades. The problem with Hades, and one of the reasons why I don't think they're going to pick this here, so there's the swap to Geb, is the fact that he just doesn't have a strong mid and late game. He can't transition well. He can win almost any lane matchup in solo, much in the way that Anubis can, but they just doesn't have that great transition where you're just kind of you're vying for a poor mid and late game when you pick him up.
Yeah, and what we can see from Agilitas now, they're going to hover over Isis at the moment as one of their potential picks. Pretty prime. Able to play Isis, we know him very well for his Agni play as well. Like Agni last week, he was ridiculous on. However, against Ao Guang, I'm not sure how that matchup is for Agni, so it looks like he might be going for Isis just for the extra wave clear during the early stages.
Gab is locked in. Isis hovered on. Athena hovered on as well. There's the backup for Kanye when Namir is gone. Namir is not here this time around. Isis, I imagine, will be locked in, and there it is, pretty prime, playing a very strong Isis. I'm actually impressed here. Agni would also be a pretty decent fit, but Isis is so great with the space control. The ultimate on Fire Giant is very powerful as well, and very, very strong burst damage with the long-range Spirit Balls. And honestly, Isis is a great pick against Ao Guang because Isis can push so aggressively that doesn't really have to expose herself, whereas Agni, if he wants to put Ao Guang in a corner, he'll have to do it using the dash in a lot of situations. So a lot safer here in the laning phase. Across the way, the last pick for them, it looks like they're going to be locking in two Ao Guangs. Yeah, that's right. So it looks like they're going to be kind of multiplying here. As
cross over the ultimates.
It's weird. I mean, I like noodles. Sometimes there's more than one noodle on,
two
on
noodles.
a plate. Two noodles.
Double the wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Oh, nice touch. Nice touch. The actual pick is going to be Freya here. Freya instead of Ao Guang. So Freya is the last pick. With Mercury gone away, Irifer loves his Mercury, but won't be able to pick it up this time around. We'll be playing Freya. So it's going to be Neith, Freya, Geb, Hercules, and Ao Guang. For the side of I5, it's going to be Neith laning up with Geb, Freya in the jungle, Hercules in the solo lane, and Ao Guang in the mid lane. Left side of the map, of the screen, you're going to see Agilitas with Thor, Isis, Artemis, Ra, and Athena. Ra's going to be going the mid lane. Isis is going to be going the solo lane. Artemis and Athena going together, and then Thor in the jungle. A pretty strong lineup for both teams, actually.
I agree. This is going to be a strong lineup overall. I expect to see I5 going to play very, very passively in the duo lane, especially with Geb and Neith. They're just going to want to farm up and look for the World Weavers and then abuse Geb during the mid-game rotations where he's going to be the strongest with those Cataclysm combos that are going to come out from him. So keep an eye on what I5 do in that lane. If they get behind early, though, Artemis and Athena really punish them.
Well, there's a lot of punish on either side. I mean, you have Neith ultimates if anyone from Agilitas gets too deep. If Thor dives the tower, there's going to be a Neith ultimate coming from the side. Artemis, always a late game powerhouse with single target damage, and that board does so much in the mid game transition or small skirmishes. Now, at the same time, they do have a lot of damage on the side of I5. Freya and Ao Guang together is plenty to kind of come together to bring that magic damage. And you always have to be careful about Geb because Geb is just so good at starting fights with that Cataclysm, like you were mentioning. If someone missteps, you get him caught. It's just so much to just Ao Guang ultimate, Freya with big burst damage, and then Hercules coming from the side as well. We know Advert can play that solo lane so well. Across the way, Thor has been a big driving force for a lot of people today. And I think the biggest blunder that Agilitas has made is they're using the silver Dew skin for Ra. I mean, come on, there's so many skins. Why you gotta use the silver one? It's just... We'll see it in game though, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we're jumping into round of 8. Agilitas versus I5. We're gonna be hoping this. Yeah, it's true. We'll see. It's a great
I don't think
skin.
we'll see much Raw America in EU though, honestly. It's a great skin.
They're still going to use it. It's a great skin. It's great.
I don't know.
It's great. Get out of here, England.
Okay. What about the rest of Europe though?
No. We're
No?
going to cut to a brief break, guys. We're cutting right into this game here. Round of 8 is about to take place here. Agilitas versus I5. They're 7 seeding points away. 4th and 5th seed vying for their spot to go to the regional EU LAN. Will it be Agilitas? Will it be I5? Either way, they'll pull ahead. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We're here live with Agilitas and I5 coming out very strong here as we come on through. Gold Fury area is being pinged very heavily by Agilitas, and they're going to be running out to discover who's playing what and where they are going. For what team, the bottom side of the screen is going to be Agilitas on the green grass. We've got Pretty Prime on Raw, Ataraxia on Artemis, Zindern on Thor, Confrey on Isis, and Kanye Life on Athena.
Yes, I would. There's a tornado dropping down straight away from Lloydie playing that El Guang as Durgis on that Geb is getting aggressed on from the top half of the map. We're also going to see Salentry playing that Neath, Rafa in the jungle on Freya, and finally Advert on Hercules in the solo lane.
Now, looking at these two teams, this is actually a very exciting match to watch because Agilitas is 5th seed, 7 points behind I5. Now, if I5 moves forward, they are guaranteed at least 25 seeding points. If you're a top 4, you're guaranteed at minimum 25 seeding points. If you are in 5th through 8th, you get 10 points. So if this works out, if Agilitas wins here, they'll be 8 points ahead of I5, whereas previously they were 7 points behind I5. And so, you know, they're so close and fickle here, right? And if I5 wins this, they'll be so far ahead. I mean, they'll be, what, 21, 22? 22 points ahead. So that's more than just the different slot there. So definitely a big opportunity for Agilitas to move into 4th seed here. But even if they do, it's still going to be a very close matchup.
It's a very important week for them because the Advert trying to invade here. They're trying to take them away. Actually hogs away the mid camp from Agilitas, so going to deny the middle experience from both sides. Slowly delay. Isis is going to be in this right-hand lane. They're putting Raw in middle.
Now they're going to put it up here. Left side's been cleared out. A little bit late to the blue buff, actually, but Neath will get there, and that will clear it out. And now we see the right side is a little bit late as well. They're both clearing out the blue buff. And honestly, a little bit slow movement here. The blue buff we picked up by Confrey on the right side. We see the blue buff being picked up by Advert, and now it's a 2 versus 2 in the jungle, or in the lane here, and no team really was very quick about the jungle.
No one's really going to come out on top of them. Actually, that's a lie. Advert will come out on top because of the extra experience he got from the from that mid camp. However, it should even out as time goes on. Left-hand side, as expected, though, we're going to see Agilitas bully that lane early on. Durgis and Salentry going to play this one very passively during the early stages. Although, Traxia takes quite a lot of poke damage there.
Right side is being pushed up very heavily onto the tower. They're going to be trying to control this space. They're doing very well at it. Zindern unable to clear the wave as he's afraid to get completely harassed out. Advert looking for the Earthbreaker, not going to find it though. Oh, he was actually baited out Confrey. And then
Don't
went for
yawn!
Zindern, able to get it. I'm doing my Kumbhakarn impression since he's not
There's
here
no
with me.
Kumbhakarn involved. He's banned.
Exactly. I'm
He's banned.
honoring his memory.
Yeah, you better had to. He gets nerfed and it's not even
He
a
did.
fair
He
nerf.
got slightly down justed.
He
okay.
nerfed his yawn. Like, that's all he's got.
0.5 seconds at max rank. Come on.
Left-hand
He's
side
still a
Salentry.
sleepy dude.
He is sleepy, and he's my sleepy dude. He makes me happy.
Aww.
Feeling bad. It's like
Now going to
sunshine
the
in
Harpy
the bag.
camp. Zindern's going to go in and get some gold here on the backside. Same thing goes for IIIII on the top side. Mid lane's going head-to-head here. Tornadoes are working out quite effectively. Surprisingly enough, Lloydie went for a little bit of a very slim, lean build when Vampiric shot into Soul Reliquary, which is the starting item for the Book of Doth. And so if you buy those two items, 700 or 800 gold for Vampiric Shroud, 700 for Soul Reliquary. And so that is 1,500 gold. He can't buy consumables. He can't buy actives. He can't buy anything. He just buys those two items and goes to lane. And because of this, he can't really squall that much because he doesn't have the damage that he needs. He has to kind of push the wave with Tornadoes alone and then sit back, which Al Guang's capable of doing.
But that's what he needs to do as well, because I5 have started to say, they make jokes about Lloydie on their team as well, from knowing I5. They basically say Lloydie is a big feeder, and everyone focuses him. They know he feeds. So, I think what he's doing now is going for the El Guang, so he can just sit back and farm and be like, right guys, I'm not going to feed this game whatsoever. I'm going to sit back and play safe. Although, he's trying to rotate left-hand side there, looking for a bit of an opportunity. Not going to find it though. Straight back to mid lane, look for the next wave.
I don't like that choice. Lloydie, and you know, I play a lot of Al Guang myself, and without boots, it's so hard for Al Guang to rotate from lane to lane. He may have tried to look down, and knowing that Pretty Prime went home was probably his only opportunity to do so. Mid camp's now spawning right back up. Looks like it's going to go to I5 here on the right side. There's not really any rotation coming out. Zindern is now in the area, but so is Durgis. Durgis is very low, though. He can't really go anywhere. There's the hammer, the hit. Not going to get it, though. Berserker Barrage coming out. Needle stops the strike. The shield comes out. The shockwave. The taunt. The shield wall comes through. And Zindern will get the first blood on I5.
And this is the big thing. We saw this last game as well when left-hand side camps were trying to be taken away by the support again. And that was taken away. Elo Fishers had the bad time of that when Bugsy was doing it. Now Durgis gets caught in a very similar situation, trying to contest these mid left-hand camps are causing some issues. Thor's up, though, and Sanity could be in trouble here.
Oh, Dunk left side's energy forced away. Hammer,
Great
Berserker
combo.
Bros coming through. Needs a spear arrow of some kind to get him away here. Under tower, they don't have it. The volley is not to come out either. So Sanitary is just fine. I mean, just didn't have the damage to take him out there. He's going to be A-OK. Checking in the soul lane, though, Advert forces Godfrey back into the tower with that driving strike, and mitigate wounds will heal him a little bit here up to mid. The lane is getting cleared out effectively. It's the hand of the gods looking for an Earthbreaker, but it seems like it's pretty even as far as the gold goes, but Advert has a level and a half, almost 2 levels ahead of Confrey, doing very, very well.
I mean, one thing to talk about as well, Confrey is this EU solo laner that everyone is starting to talk about as being the possible Game Hunter 2.0, you know? He's started to come into it. Game Hunter is very, very well known, but Confrey's come onto the scene and he's done very well this past week, especially for Agilitas, helping them reach the final. And now a lot of people are talking about the fact that Confrey is a very, very good player and has great matchups against a lot of the pros in the scene. So it'll be interesting to see how he does in this one, because Frey's ganking.
Looking for the banish, gonna find it there. Throws up, gonna come through here. Does he have
Right,
an ultimate? There goes
Earthbreaker.
Drive Strike. Nothing he can do. Zinder's just looking at it saying, hey, I don't have an ultimate. I have nothing to survive this. I don't really have anything to assist with it either. And so he's actually gonna do the blue buff, surprisingly enough. That's gonna leave about 20 seconds for Confrey to get back and pick it up here.
Okay.
We'll see if he's able to pick it up. Looks like he's gonna make it over there, but Zinder's gonna head on home, using that time to heal back up.
Yep, use that time to heal back up. Right hand side taken by Hercules again. Rafik assisting on that one. So it's 1-1 on the scoreboards now. Golden experience. Actually, gold in favour of Agilitas, experience only just in favour of I5. So it's pretty split, but left hand side camps are being contested here, but Raf is here.
Rappers on the left side going to find Artemis. He's trying to go back and forth. Needle's going to land on top of there. Artemis is coming out. Freya, 1, 2, 3, and 4. All going to hit Ataraxia
he's coming.
as they back off. And the Alguang's on the wave. I don't imagine they're going to do anything with this as Freya is there. Squall Spirit Step is going to crush him. Ataraxia going into the jungle instead of straight back to the tower. A huge blunder was made there.
Should have stayed in the lane.
Zinder. Zinder saving the day on both sides here. You can see with the death on the right side on Isis clearing the blue buff meant that Advert couldn't come down and steal it in her absence. And same thing here. Gonna go actually and do the blue buff in the absence of Ataraxia. Now, Ataraxia should be able to get there and pick it up. And it just means that, you know, when you lose that death on that side, the enemy can't come in and steal the blue buff and put you further behind.
Yeah, that's right, and it was a good decision from Zinder to do that. But Thor's going up, he's looking for Durgis again in this mid lane, going to dunk down onto him. Athena's dunking down,
Nice
there's the
hit.
searing pain! And Durgis goes down again, contesting
Beautiful
these
play.
mid camps.
Great play there. Good
Surrender
spot.
vote.
Dirty is by himself. And, you know, honestly,
Dirty
it comes out
surrender
with... just out of frustration. And, you know, it's a great play that y'all spot that out. And that comes down to vision and awareness as well. You never know if Neith's going to be there, Freya's going to be there. But because they had the vision in the lane, they had the vision in the top side of the blue buff, they had the vision in front of the mid camps. They knew that no one else was there besides Durgis since they caught him with his pants down there. Beautiful ultimate from Athena and Thor, as well as the damage from Ra as soon as the dunk came down. Good CC control and chain, and Durgis really had nowhere to go. So Durgis now level 6 in the game, lowest level in the game, lowest farm in the game by quite a significant amount. But Lodi has finished that Book of Thought.
He is Geb, though. I mean, we saw in Continential's Geb yesterday, and Geb is a powerhouse. He's a carry. So, even as the game goes on, you can still come back as a Geb and still be useful to your team. Hopefully, he can try and get himself back on form. But they did lose both mid camps for that one to Agilitas. And now, once again, Raf is going to rotate and look for an opportunity with the noodle right behind him. Will Weaver connects on Amtraxia.
Boar coming out here, Rapper looking for the banish. Will he be able to find it? There goes the shots on the Kanye. Needs some kind of banish or something to slow them down. Not going to find it here. Ra's on his way over. Thor is in the area, but doesn't have an ultimate to clear that distance. Raffer now running through the jungle. Great ward placement here. This is the first time they've actually warded this blue buff, and I'm glad to see it happening. They need good control of where Agilitas is going, and this will help.
Zinder's making the right calls, though. Like, when he sees Lloydie rotating over, Prime follows him into that duo lane, but immediately Zinder just pushes in that middle lane, knowing he seems a great saving ping coming out from Prime, and now Athena's in there as well. Not going to find anything. Gold Fury goes to I5, though.
That was a beautiful call by I5. A little bit risky, though, because they had Tier 1 Hog. They didn't really have anything to secure that. They had no guarantees, and honestly, they're playing a little bit from behind. So now are they going to go from behind all the way until the lead here? So they went from behind in gold, behind in experience, to the lead in gold, lead in experience. A beautiful, small, specific play. Zinder in trouble here, gets slowed by the Squall. Very short teleport, actually.
Whoa.
There goes the ultimate from Freya. 1-2, one more shot. Will bring him low, but doesn't have the distance taken out. Neath ultimate, is it available? It looks like it is not. out, so he's perfectly fine to get out of here and head on home. So smart call by I5, and looks like they're going to take control this early stage.
Yeah, I mean, they are taking control of it. One thing, though, Lloydie is falling a little bit behind in terms of experience because he's doing all these rotations. Overall, Pretty Prime is getting a very small lead. As you can see, he's now just over a level ahead of Lloydie. And Lloydie's got to keep an eye on that because Pretty Prime will outscale him if he continues to do that in terms of levels, and it's going to cause an issue for them if those rotations don't pay off.
Right side, Confer forced to use his beads there as Advert gets the Earthbreaker. Fortunate enough, Confer used the beads in flight while flying towards Hercules. A little bit late on the activation there. Unfortunately enough, that means his beads is on cooldown, and Advert kind of willfully and very blissfully allowed it to happen. So now he knows that Ice's purification beads will be on cooldown for another 2 minutes or so, and so he's free to try to get those Earthbreakers off and try to force him into a corner. Spirit Ball will clear out the way, and so they'll be able to control this in, but Thor's in the area. Thor's going to possibly go up in the area. He's in the Fire Giant pit, not going to take it, as of course Advert disengages, but he's going to find IIIII in the mid lane.
Well, 10 minutes in, Camp's about to spawn in mid again. Will Durgis die for a third time? We'll find out as Zindern gets aggressed on Athena's going to drop down looking for the ultimate to help defend him. They're going to find Rafa. No, the shield comes out. Great Cataclysm just to disengage for the most part. But another top from Kanye Life. Syrian Pain misses. Full disengage.
Pretty Prime a little bit late on the uptake there, avoiding the opportunity to get that huge double hit. Turning on the ground will be avoided by the dash from Athena and the ultimate as well. Beautiful play, and a little bit eager by Lloydie, actually, knowing that Athena had the charge available. Actually probably heard the animation and sound of her building that up, and so going to use the ultimate to no avail. Tornadoes to no avail, looking for the kill, not going to find it. Blue buff is on the ground, but Advert is zoning it out, so Confrey can't pick it up. Confrey knows that Hercules has an ultimate, or I'm sorry, knows that Hercules has a drive the wall. Confrey's still going to go low here. Winga should buy the distance, but he's still zoning the blue buff. Nothing Confrey can do. Though. Here comes Raw, slow, damage. Thor dunk, Advert goes down. Confrey keeps him in the area for so long that Agilitas uses their agility to get over there.
Really did use their agility. Nice use of wordage there, Dry Bear. But that's one thing that Advert did.
I like words.
Words are good. I learn words. But Advert did the wrong thing. He did his best to try and deny the blue buff.
Right side Rafa.
Can Rafa make it back? He does, you know. That's big. That's very, very important for I5 because Advert gave up a free kill. But now if Rafa picking that one up makes it equal. Prime's not got the mana for this. I don't think he can really kill Rafa in this situation, so I'm not going to panic too much about that one. As they both rotate back to their lanes. 3 for 3. Golden experience. A split right now.
I love the choice by Raffer to walk through the tower, take the damage, and run back to his tower. We see time and time again people dive towers, and they back in between the tier 1 and the tier 2, but this is basically just a prayer to the heavens that you'll be able to get back in time, because once you're caught, you're caught. So, Raffer decides, hey, I got some time here. I'm not going to waste any time on the decision. I'm going to run straight through the tower and back to mine. I'll take some shots in the tower, but that's fine by me as long as I'm not being caught in a bad space, and that will save his life as Ra was on his way over. And so he gets the kill on Con for the right side, goes back to his tower, and now he'll be making home A-OK. Looking at atomization here, we're going to see Advert actually pick up Stone of Gaia first. Now look across the way, you're going to see 3 out of the 5 doing magical damage. 2 of those doing pretty significant magical damage, Ra and Isis together. Leaves him open to physical damage, but he'll be able to close that gap in a little bit here. Raph, we're going to make a different choice than we saw last game from the Freya. Going to start with the Hasten Fatalis.
Yeah, going to look for the increased mobility to be able to continue the chase as well as apply the damage. So we'll see how that one's going to pay off for him. Is Lloydie once again looking for rotations wherever possible. He's trying to look at the right side, left hand side though. Once again, Durgis just eyeing things up, waiting for Rafa to probably rotate around. Lindon's in the area though.
Cinder is around. He has an ultimate available. In fact, all 10 ultimates are available right now. But we're forced away. Rapid from behind. Durgis, good kegels, good banish. There's a shockwave going up in there. Does he have enough damage to force him away? There's the shot. The boar is on the ground. It actually isn't in range to hit anyone. As Tusky? Come on, man. What do we pay you for?
Okay, it was 2 for 2 ults traded there overall. Durgis used his at the same time as the whoop came off from Rafa, but then Rafa did land the Valkyrie, so bit of damage coming off. Will Weaver onto Prime though, and there's going to be a connection. Great Aegis from Prime, and Athena's going to use the defender with Olympus to try and defend. That's going to work out for them, and now I5 group up for the mid camps. Left and mid camps going to be contested still.
Artemis right to the Gold Fury area. I5 really want to get this. The only reason I5 is in the lead right now is because of that Gold Fury. Times hasn't changed. Raw ultimate come down there. Thor taking a lot of damage. You're looking for Durgis. Shield buys enough time. There goes the kill. Zinder's on a driving spree right here, going through everyone in his way. Lloydie getting low. The hammer to come out here. Sandistry wants the Spirit Arrow, but he's on a little bit too much damage. Backing away. Oh, double banish from Raffer. Buys the time they need to escape. I don't imagine they'll stick around for too much longer. Oh, there's the hammer. Berserker Mirage. He doesn't. I'm surprised he didn't commit to that.
Could have committed to it and gone for it, chose not to. And now that's going to be a 4 for 4. This is really, really close.
Very
Backwards and
close.
forwards every single time. And look at this right-hand lane. Advert's taking a lot of poke damage from Comfrey now.
He's happy about it though, because he has a sort of Gaia, which is of course 2% of your maximum HP every 5 seconds. A lot of regeneration. He has mitigate wounds. I don't think he cares about the individual damage numbers coming out from Comfrey, because he'll regenerate it right back up. There goes mitigate wounds activating. Sort of Gaia passive running. He's look at his HP. It just goes
Wait
right
for
back up.
Wait
so
for
easily.
Enkile. That's going to be the new item.
Ankile?
Yes, Ankile. That's what Bart said it was called. I thought it was Anseal. But he was like, no, it means Ankile. Taunt! Big taunt by 4 members, and they're going to get wiped by Pretty Prime with a triple kill, quadra possibly? Quadra kill for Prime! And that was all down to Kanye Life's taunt that hit all 4 members. Holy moly.
Quadra kill. Absolutely beautiful play. Not only that, they're going to get the gold Fury. They just shot up to 2,000 gold in the lead, 4,900 experience in the lead. They're going to get the mid tower. That's going to put them up to 2,500 gold in the lead. The right tower being pressured as well. And, you know, we spent so much time in the right lane. Honestly, for Advert, it may be useful for him to just let this tower go and start joining his team. 500 gold is not worth him being out of the fight, because obviously if you leave Pretty Prime and his team alone, good things happen for Agilitas.
That was a big thing for Agilitas. Big shout out to what Kanye Life did there. Man, landing the full taunt onto him, went down to the Spirit Tempest from Ao Kwang, but Prime was just there to clean things up with the same in pain. Did so much damage, and that also got them the Gold Fury as well.
We see Athena running towards the movement speed buff. Left side of the map is going to be controlled here as she heads on over. Wards are being placed down ever so delicately as the Gold Fury area is warded heavily by I-5. Fire Giant, not really a point of contention just yet for either team. Really, the gold isn't really too far ahead, but Agilitas with that big win in the Gold Fury, now 3,000 gold in the lead. The right side tower is a sneeze away from going down, adding another 500 gold to their lead. But one thing we should talk about is their 6,100 experience in the lane, which means they're going to be a lot more effective. I mean, Ra's level 18, the highest level on I-5 is 15. We see a lot of 14s on Agilitas, but we see a 12 and a 10 on I-5.
Oh, a lot of aggression right-hand side. Comfrey's in a lot of trouble. Whirlweaver's going to connect onto him, but back in tower range, and Advert had used everything to get him that low already. Great ultimate from Athena, though, just to make sure there was no follow-up.
Yeah, no rock there. Nothing they're really going to do. And honestly, you know, they have to wait for an opportunity to engage. I mean, at this point, they're not really controlling the map very well. They don't have the single target damage to take down anyone if they catch them out. And so, you know, gold is going to be the main focus. They want to get objectives. They want to wait for the next big fight. And Freya is going to be the vessel for that. Athena defending the right side lane as Confrey goes on home. Advert's going to clear out the wave and head over into the jungle area. But again, I-5 has wonderful vision. Look how much coverage they have.
They do have wonderful vision, but in honesty, they wasted that the Gold Fury when they got hit up by the whole quadra kill that Pretty Prime picked up, and now Athena could be in trouble here. But Isis is there with a great silence, good spirit ball as well to slow down Advert, and this rotation is going to come to naught, or possibly a turnaround from Agilitas as Zindan goes up.
Thor's looking for the dunker on the right side. Who's going to land on it? Looking for Lloydie, I imagine, on the front side. No follow-up, no team positioning. The tower is there, but honestly, if they got in tight, they could take up the tower very, very quickly. It's just a few shots away from going down, and then that would give them the space they needed to get the fight off. Thor's actually going to dunk into the middle lane area to clear out some minions and get some gold for himself. But, you know, right now, it's looking really good for Agilitas.
Yeah, Agilitas are looking very, very strong this one. I'm surprised they didn't go for that engage on right, like you said, because with that tower being low, they could have grouped up, took the tower down, and just forced a fight, and with their experience and the gold advantage, they could have won that one. So right-hand side, once again, we're going to see Kanye Life hanging out, quite happy to leave a Taraxia alone on that Artemis on the left-hand side, quite comfortable against Sanitary right now. One level advantage for him as it stands on the table right now between these two hunters.
Sergius has Iron Mail picked up here, but he's very far behind, 7,100 gold. He's 700 gold behind the lowest on Agilitas, playing very well. But let's look at that Quadra kill played by Ra there as it comes out. You look at Pretty Prime coming over to the Gold Fury. Gold Fury was started by I-5. Athena with a big taunt, big snipe, big tornado, and the damage is enough. They just absolutely vaporized there, nowhere to go, and that's the power of Athena. And honestly, one of the reasons why I believe Athena is heavily underrated right now, a single taunt can change the whole fight.
Oh, really, really can as well. That was such a big searing pain. It was all down to the taunt, honestly, just to allow Prime to set up for that whole thing. The Gold Fury comes straight after it. Really nicely played overall from Agilitas, and that was just basically two members that did all that together. Ridiculous.
I mean, you just get 4 people taunted, they all stand together, and all of a sudden a big laser beam comes through and melts them into dust. That's just the strategy right there. They have a lot of synergy and a lot of initiation potential. I mean, Thor can initiate, Athena can initiate, Isis can initiate, Ra could even initiate as well. There's so many things happening, but right lane, Advert's in trouble, Hammer coming out here. There's the big ultimate's priming up, the big burst comes through, Advert dashes away, can he get the distance to silence the wing gust? That's it.
Gonna secure. Will Weaver is coming through, probably going to connect onto Zindern there, so let's
Good
go
guy,
disengage. Left hand side though, Artemis going aggressive now, knowing Sanity's got that down. Backflip's gone, ball's going to connect onto the tower. Instant use of the beads and the sprint to get away. So Sanitary going to live for the time being. Right hand side tower's going to drop though.
At least Tusky's working this time, freaking lazy butt. Sits there, acting like he's getting paid to do nothing. Taunt on the right side, looking for Raph. We're going to find him here. Spirit Ball connects, but he's already up into the air. Actually, if he did not ult there, he was done for.
That was a really good call by Rafa to go up. He knew he was in trouble. But this is one of the issues now that i5 are going to find, is that now Agilitas are ahead, and Ra is so very, very strong in this game. He's going to be able to keep sustaining his team and looking to poke down. And with Rafa not having that ultimate available now, they've got to really be careful on this defense.
Pushing out there and clear out that and go to the right side. No kills coming out just yet, but forcing a lot of ultimates out. The Gold Fury and Fire Giant are both available, and I imagine both teams are looking to take them down. Consider the fact that 3,800 gold separates the two teams, which really isn't, you know, it's not insurmountable, right? Both teams can take this out. Lodi gets blocked by Thor, unfortunately. Could have positioned that a little bit better, but it's really hard to know where that wall's going to show up after the animation is completed. The pre-hit is actually quite long on that Thor wall
this is
there.
Nice. Left hand side. We just saw Artemis starting it, and immediately Kanye Life uses the ultimate to jump straight over there, start working on this Gold Fury. They're going to be able to get this for free because no one's in the area yet, but Kanye's a bit worried. He's not certain 100% that he was okay, but now they realize Geb is not going to be here to try and steal this one away. Great pickup by Agilitas.
Nice attack there from Pretty Prime. He has the Kurtles Pendant, so a decent amount of CDR. About to hit level 10, or level 20, I should say. So his ultimate's on like a 40-second cooldown as it stands right now. So very easy to just start throwing those raw ultimates out like candy and trying to connect with as many as you can. Lloydie, though, he's got Spear of the Magus, he's got Penetration from the Boots, he's got that Book of Thoth. Lloydie's going to be sitting on a lot of magic damage right now. Book of Thoth, a very effective item, actually the most effective item Aoguang can pick up for himself. Look at the damage numbers, he's at 210 magical damage. That's going to be almost tied with Ra, who, of course, is a little bit ahead of him, but has the same amount of itemization, so definitely a strong pickup.
I mean, the other thing to look at as well is the fact that he's got Rafa on that Freya in the jungle, and allowing with that Spear of the Magus just to shred with the tornado, that's going to increase the amount of damage Rafa can do, especially with that demonic grip as well. So that's going to play into each other's builds very nicely.
Oh, certainly, and bring that set down. That's the decision-making between items like Titan's Bane and Executioner, Spear of the Magus, or Obsidian Shard, is that you apply a debuff to the target, allowing other people to do more, but left side looking for Sanitary is Thor. Sanitary knows that he's playing that wiggle dance, trying to avoid the dunk, actually avoiding it completely and sprinting into the jungle. Smart play. Hammer comes out, got nothing, so the ultimate is just a fluke.
Very, very aggressive from Zindern to do that solo. I mean, he had no teammates around him whatsoever, but he looked to make a solo play in that situation. He's a level ahead of Sanitary. Could have made something happen, chose not to. That's going to be on cooldown for now, but with Gold Fury down, there's nothing really to contest just yet. So i5 are hunting for a fight, and then don't think they're going to find one out of Agilitas right now, because there's nothing to fight over. They don't want to, you know, throw this one away. They're in great control.
Yeah, Agilitas is looking for that Fire Giant. They want some kind of wipe, whether it be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever the case may be, they just want at least a kill to try and push them into a Fire Giant. If they can force Durgis to go down, that would be the big win right there, because that's the hand of 3. Left side, looking for the kit. One, nice. Ataraxia, the solo.
Ataraxia used the ability, the fact that Zindern ganked and burnt the sprint to go aggressive onto Sanitary. Sanitary didn't give him the respect he deserved. Backflip, as soon as he backflipped, the ball came down at the same time. Very, very quick pickup. And look at this rotation from Agilitas. They want this left-hand tower now, and this is a great call. The fact that they've got the man advantage, looking to abuse that and take down towers.
Good zoning here. Thor forcing Durgis into the tower. IRF being split away. The taunt actually gets interrupted there. The animation went off, but it wasn't enough. Kanye gets the taunt on Asper. Taking a lot of damage here. Thor's looking for the dunk. Gonna find Raph for the back, forcing an ult. Ra ulting a little bit prematurely there, knowing that Freya could ult away. Zinder's gonna teleport out, and there goes the Spirit Stem's gonna hit Kanye right in the face, but he doesn't really care a whole lot.
No, not really. I think he doesn't really care about win. She's okay. She's cool. He likes a good breeze. It cools her down on hot days. And now Zindern goes aggressive again. He does get a good stun, and Kanye's going to pick up that kill. Now Edvert's in trouble. Does land a nice connection onto 3 members, but he's probably going to drop here as the shield comes out for Geb. That might actually save his life. Or will it?
Spirit ball
no, it
misses.
won't, because the Spirit Ball missed, but the Wing Gust does not. 12-5. And
That Thor wall
Agilitas
was
looking
fantastic.
good. Really
blocking him in, nowhere to go. Good positioning by Zinder. Taunt coming in, double taunt, Spirit Ball gonna land. Sanitary in trouble, big burst coming out there. There goes the Polynomicon hitting hard. The Raw Ultimate's gonna actually almost take him down there. Good ultimate from underneath as well, forcing pretty prime. The tower MVP, tier 2 tower with a technical double kill there, doing a majority of the damage to Isis and Raw. Agilitas extending too far forward, and that's gonna throw away their opportunity to push this lane up or possibly steal away jungle buffs.
They're not going to get the tower for now. They're not going to be able to get anything else out of that, but i5 managed to defend the tower because of it. Good decision from Durgis to blink in there, use the Cataclysm just to secure that extra kill and make sure they get an extra number on the board. But this is a big ask for i5 right now. Like, Agilitas are in full control. i5 are used to being behind because they can't seem to win against Cloud9 or TSM. They know what it's like to be on the losing foot, but they do put out good performances. However, against Agilitas, they're looking so strong right now with these rotations and the fights. The fact that they're winning 1v1 fights is really important for them.
We're going to see a difference in builds here, and this is something that a lot of the new Hunter players can take away from this. Executioner was built by Ataraxia because he is ahead, and you see across the way, Chin Size was built by Sanitary, and generally the strategy is picking up Chin Size to clear the damage gap. It's a little bit less efficient than Executioner is, and you miss out on some penetration, but if you're far behind, you can't afford to go for an item like Executioner because, number one, if you're losing map control and gold difference, you're not going to be in the fight as long as the other Hunter because of the positioning and the difference in gold. And so you need to make sure every shot counts. And Execution is more of a long game kind of thing where you want to hit a couple times and then your damage starts coming out. Whereas Chin Size will give you that boost from the get-go. So Sanitary, understanding this fact, picks up Chin Size to make sure that he clears that damage gap between the two Hunters. Of course, he's sitting almost, looks like 1,300 gold behind individually behind the enemy Artemis, played by Ataraxia. And so buying that up gives him a little extra damage boost. Advert's going to go for some penetration in CDR with that Jotun's Wrath. Across the way, look at the difference in supports, though. You see that Kanye has finished a Pestilence, slowing down a little bit of the healing from the Hercules mainly. And across the way, you see that Durgis is just starting a Cloak.
Yeah, I mean, the Pestilence will also give him the magic protection he's going to want to be able to sustain in these fights a little bit longer, especially against the likes of Eogwang and IIIII on that Freya. But the one thing that i5 need to look to now is Lloydie. He is the top farmed, he's the most kills, and he's got the most gold on his team. And he really has to connect his abilities to really show for his team. He's got to show it for his team, but right now he's just going to get hit by some more abilities, be forced out away from defending that Fire Giant.
He just uses his beads as well. That Greater Purification is now on cooldown. He won't be able to use that if there's an engagement coming up shortly. He has Polynomicon completed, so the Polynomicon is activated as it stands right now, and that's where his big burst is going to come from. Ra shooting his ultimate out there in the mid lane again. Very short cooldown on that ultimate. Now that he's level 20, I imagine it's around 38 seconds or so, and so able to throw that out pretty quickly here. Will be coming up shortly. He does also have the Heavenly Agility, which a big benefit comes out from that, but look at the difference in Hunters here, Hindu. Deathbringer is done for Artemis. Across the way, Sanitary is still sitting on 3 items. Oh, Thor's going up.
Thor is going up. He's looking for the opportunity on the right-hand lane. What's he going to find? Well, he's going to connect onto Ale Kwang, and now Ale Kwang's in trouble without those beads. He's going to go down. So Tempest doesn't even connect, and now Adver's going to try and mitigate as many wounds as possible, but he's not got enough health to mitigate any more wounds, because there was a lot of wounds.
Backside Raxid looking for IIIII. Going to land on the ground, looking for the hit. There goes the big crit. The Boar actually got the kill. Tusky very pleased with himself. He'll get a treat later once Artemis is done clearing out the kills here. Fire Giant is being taken down. 27 minutes in this match, 15-7. Raw Ultimate coming through here, looking for Durgis, trying to block him away. Body blocking the rollout, looking for the slow. There goes the hit. Isis Ultimate is on the ground. There goes the burst. Durgis goes down to get the Fire Giant as well. Backflip from Neath. The taunt's going to come out shortly. There goes the hit. The hammer. The wall. The wall's a little bit early, though. The purification beads were still active. Now under tower. Where can she go? Zindern is undeterred. The tower's going to take some hits. Kanye's looking for the taunt. Spirit Ball going to come out. Not going to hit it. The wall. The hammer. They're going in deep. They want the kill. They want the Deicide. i5 is in trouble here. Sanitary goes down to the right side. Deicide for Agilitas. Fire Giant deleted out of the game, and now the right side Phoenix is in peril.
They've got to be careful if they're going to try and backdoor this. They might have the damage off if Zinder can wall off nicely, but Rafa and Lloydie are both here. They will do a lot of spreading damage if Advert can keep them there as well. And so they're going to defend for now, but it's only going to be for now because this Fire Giant has only just begun.
pushing it up here. Raw Ultimate coming out here, hitting Lloydie, dropping to half HP. There goes the Raffer hit on top. Siri Page is on cooldown. The Raw comes through, hitting no one. Oh, the Spirit Simmons is up short. It doesn't have the distance. Kanye being forced away. The 3-man banish. The 3-man Cataclysm. The huge burst from I5 forcing him out of the fight here as Kanye backs away. Advert drops low. Wingus comes through. Advert going down. Freya's up in the air. Zinder wants that booty though. Going right in on top. Can he get the damage out? There's the crit from Ataraxia. Zinder will die to the Phoenix, it looks like. And that will be that. Spirit Ball coming out, not going to land. Loading Force out of the fight. The Phoenix will go down, and Agilitas is out.
So they did lose Zinden for that right-hand side tower. Going to be able to rotate mid lane, though. They do have pretty prime on that Ra, and we know the amount of healing regeneration he can give. They could just rotate mid if they want to, but going to steal away some buffs from the jungle, extend their lead even further before looking elsewhere. The regeneration from Firegiant just paying dividends right now.
It really is. I mean, they have so much control. They have so much push. They have so much aggression coming out here. And even if I5 gets their hits in, they still have to realize they're 11,000 gold behind. They're behind on the Fire Giant. There's the heal on Ra. Kanye being forced away here. Needs to get out of tower range because that's doing some serious damage.
They don't really have any execute damage right now, do I5. I mean, Freya can have it when she goes into the Valkyrie, but they're not being able to find the way to kill off, you know, the gods that they've got. Agilitas are just very, very strong right now. The only time they've really picked people up is when they've been diving the towers of the Phoenixes right now, Drybear. And it's a really big ask for I5 to try and get back into this one, especially, like I said, they've got nothing that can really confirm a kill. They've got no real assassin. Freya can play a little bit like one during the later stages. However, it's very, very difficult when she's this far behind.
Hindu, I am so excited. Look at the inventory for Agilitas. That is the one of the happiest moments you can see from a caster. I am so happy for Agilitas right now. Not only are they 19-8, not only are they 11.5k in the lead, not only are they probably going to get a kill here on Sanitary on the left side of the map as he backflips into a tower. There goes the hit there. Sanitary will fall. But this is what teams need to do to elevate themselves to the next level. You have to control the map. You have to put the space control in. And with this 15 ward swing, they're going to do exactly that. The entire map will light up like a Christmas tree, and anything I5 will do will be spotted out, and they're willing to be, you know, punished for it. With Thor available, with Ra available to distance, anytime they go for a jungle up, anytime they step outside of their base, Agilitas will see it, and it's looking very, very good for them as it stands right now.
Shout out to Ataraxia for doing the opposite thing of everybody else and putting his wards in a different order in his inventory. Wants to be different, want to be a cool kid. That's how you do it. You don't buy the wards in the same spot. Syrian Pain connects onto Rafa, and he's going to have to back again to Basted without Salinity for another 13 seconds. So Kanye Life quite happy just to tank this one up and allow Artemis the opportunity to bring it down. The second Phoenix drops. Agilitas looking to close this one out.
Looking for the third Phoenix here. There's only been 1 or 2 documented cases of wins after 3 Phoenixes go down in competition. Durgis is rooted out there. Kanye will disengage. Raffer looking for a start on Ataraxia. Skull's not going to land. Driving Strike's going to miss. Scrapey Curse is going to come out. The Frey Ultimate drops Ataraxia very low.
Enough.
Needs a rock. I'm surprised not to see a boulder come out there trying to get the kill. Pretty Prime banished. Freya getting close. Hammer from Zinder. They're pushing up here. The tornadoes on the ground as well. The rock will do damage, but they're back inside the raw heal. The blink, the damage. Tuskie's in the fight, forcing them out here as Raffer backs away. Backplane coming through. Zinder low on HP. Needs a hammer, going to hit one shot, but not the backswing as Kanye looking for the taunt. The game looks like it's going to be slowing for a bit as they try to get the initiation, but both teams played it well enough and passively enough to not lose any kills.
I mean, you say that they didn't lose any kills, but I5 just couldn't defend enough, and now they've burned everything on defending this, and the assault is once again, because look how healthy Agilitas are with those solar blessings coming out from Pretty Prime. It's so difficult. You've got to keep running back to your Nexus to the Born area.
Nexus.
I called it a Nexus, that's bad, sorry. I feel guilty now. That's terrible, Hindu. Could you please?
Oh, Spirit Ball and Raffer forcing weight, dropping very, very low. Syric
Syric
goes
Pain!
out. Pretty Prime
Thor's
takes
up.
him out. Thor's looking for the dunk here, gonna find Lloydie. There's the hammer, there's Berserk Mirage. The noodle has been cooked here. Looking for Advert. The taunt's gonna come out as well. The mid Phoenix is down. There's no Phoenixes left. The Polynamicon plus Ataraxia takes out Advert. Sanitary and Durgis are feeling the pit of their stomach burn on down as their Titan falls in the same manner. The game is over 23-8. Agilitas takes the victory over I5, and you know what this means, folks? Agilitas is now guaranteed 4th seed, moving on to the top 4, pushing I5 out, and looking right now, if they can hold it, their chance to move to the EU regional land. But I5, if Agilitas takes fourth slot today, if they lose in the consolation, they don't even if they just lose the rest of their matches, they'll still be only 8 points ahead of I5, and they got to be careful.
Yeah, it's going to be a close one. I mean, Bloody Tech is still in this one as well. I think they're fighting off at the moment against Worth Gaming as well. So they're the other contenders for that fourth place spot. And Worth Gaming need to come out on top to make sure they get third. News is Bloody Tech did lose there as well. So Worth Gaming did advance on. Cloud9 beat Exposed Secrets in the other round. And we're still waiting on results from Team Solo Mid versus SK Gaming as we're moving into the semi-finals this week, Drybear. And it's shaping up once again to be a good one. It's going to be Cloud9 versus Agilitas and Worth Gaming versus the winner of Team Solo Mid versus SK Gaming.
Yeah, that's right. Worth is very familiar with TSM and SK as well, so I'm sure they're preparing themselves for that. But a more interesting matchup here is going to be C9 and Agilitas. We saw them last week in the grand finals. It ended up being 2-for-1 with Agilitas winning. So Agilitas moving on into the semifinal round, guaranteeing themselves fourth slot for the seeding charts, feeling very happy with themselves. And coming off of a win over C9 in the grand finals last week, you got to know that they feel in their hearts, their heavy hearts, that they're going to be able to do something here with C9. I talked to Zinder over the week with the MVP interview for EU, and he said he was very confident in their chance to kind of come in this weekend and get a big win. Last week, I mean, they went through and they tried to force it away, but it looks like TSM has been eliminated in the round of 8 for the second time in the history of the qualifiers, ladies and gentlemen. SK Gaming will be taking out TSM and moving on to the semifinals.
Wow, SK Gaming stepping up the game this week. We saw them in that very first round where we tried to go over with the Vindicate before we had the stasis issue, but SK Gaming looked very good in that one, and they've really pulled it out this week. They're going to have to deal with Worth Gaming though, so it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to face off against Worth Gaming. SK Gaming though,
right.
There's only 4 weeks left, including this one, right? And if they can make a late push, we said this at the start, they can still qualify. They're not far behind at all.
Not far behind at all, but we're going to cut to a brief break and see exactly how the semifinals complete, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking at the semifinal round, and we have first seed, fourth seed, third seed, and seventh seed together. Definitely a very big difference between these teams, and honestly, it's a little surprising to see things go the way they are. TSM now moving lower in the seeding charts. We're going to cut to a brief break and we'll be right back with the start of the semifinal round. Stick around. You don't want to miss it.
No, you don't.